Hey folks, Eric here, trying to answer some questions that we hear clients ask repeatedly in our office. So I'm going to try and answer some. We do a lot of nursing home abuse cases, so that's a frequent question. How long is this nursing abuse case going to take? A couple things that we need to keep in mind when we answer that question. One, this is essentially a medical malpractice case. And so medical malpractice cases are the most complicated cases that we have in the state, in addition to products liability. But with medical malpractice and nursing home exclusively, we have a couple of issues that we need to talk about. One is one of the delays in getting these cases moving is getting the medical records in. Oftentimes we find that the victim or the client of nursing home abuse is still in the facility. And one challenge is getting the medical records from the facility while an individual is still a patient. So you still have an active chart. So it's hard to get that copy. That takes time. In my experience, just getting the medical records can take up to 6 months. That's a long period of time that you have to wait. Once those records are received, then we start doing a review, seeing what's in the records, what is noticeably absent or what is affirmatively a problem with the conduct of the nursing home. That takes time. You can imagine that you've got about probably on average 2 years of medical records that you've got to go through. Something is being documented, hopefully, every single day with regard to the treatment of that individual. Going through that, picking up what's good and what's bad for the case or the allegations. Unfortunately, then after we do our review, it's sent to an expert to get a merit review based on their opinion, experience, and training in this particular field. That takes another couple of months because they have to review the same set of records. And they are usually practicing physicians, so they also have a job that they've got to do during the day and review these things at night. Then comes the time to make a decision. Is it a case? Yes or no? Let's assume that it is. Then you have to file a lawsuit. My experience is these never settle pre-suit because there's always an argument to be had by the defendant. So we file a lawsuit. Then we start fighting a little bit about whether it should be an arbitration or it should be in a jury trial in a trial court. That's an issue for another day. But that takes time also. And so we get to that point. Then we start doing depositions, which we've talked about before in other episodes, written discovery, experts, and those types of things. All told, what I find in my experience is the timing or the length of time these cases take is somewhere between 2 and 4 years. If you get into a situation where you're in trial court, it could be longer just because you're dealing with a longer docket. You may have criminal cases on that docket. You may have family law matters that are on that docket. You got other civil cases that are on that docket. So it takes time to get to the more recent cases. In our state, the older cases take precedent. So you get pushed all the way to the bottom if you've got a new case. If you're in arbitration, it could be completely different. You got an arbitrator who's pushing the case. He's not a judge. He doesn't have the huge docket that the trial courts have. So maybe you can get this case heard in 2 to 3 years. Seems to be the average with an arbitrator, 4 or 5 years when you're in a trial court. So I hope that helps understanding what you're looking forward to in a nursing home abuse case. If it doesn't, and there's a more specific question you want to ask, please feel free to do so. Just hit subscribe, send it to us, and we'll get it answered for you. Thanks for tuning in.